This is a video tutorial on the song Down From His Glory, and I'm going to be teaching in the key of C. The song is pretty simple to play. If you check out the chords which I've displayed on the screen, there's only 6 chords that you need to know to play the whole song. There's the C chord, which is made of the notes C, E, G. I'm pretty sure most people would know the C chord. Then there's the F chord, which is F, A, C. Then the next chord you need to know is a G chord, which is made of a G, B, D. These are the 3 main chords that you need to know for the song, but there's 3 minor chords that you also need to know for this song. These are A minor, which is made of A, C, E. Then the other one is D minor, which is made of D, F, and A. Then the last chord which you need to know for this song is F minor, which is made of F, A flat, and C. Now, if you need to know how to create a minor chord, refer to the description below this video where I explain how you can take a major chord and turn it into a minor chord. So the chords you need to know are C, F, G, A minor, D minor, and F minor. Apart from just knowing these chords, you need to know the different chord inversions for each chord. This will help you make your playing better. So if you know the C chord, you should know the 3 inversions, which are this inversion. And if we take this note and move it here, we get another C chord inversion. And if we take this E note and move it here, we get the 3rd C inversion. So these are the 3 inversions for C. Similarly for F, you get the 3 inversions, which are, move this note here, then move this note, this A to this A. Then for G, the 3 inversions will be this one, and this one. Then for the minor chords, the same principle applies. You get your D minor, 1st inversion, 2nd inversion, 3rd inversion. For your A minor, you get your 1st inversion, 2nd inversion, 3rd inversion. For your F minor, so chord inversions are very important. So I would advise to go through all the chord inversions and familiarize yourself with the different chord inversions for each of the chords. So once you know all these chords, now we can play the whole song in the basic version. I've displayed the chords in the PDF below this video. So the song goes something like, down from His glory, ever living story, my God and Savior King, and Jesus was His name, born in a manger, to His own a stranger, a man of sorrows, tears, and agony. So far I've used just the C, the F, and the G. But when you come to the chorus, that's when you need the other minor chords as well. So the chorus goes like Oh, how I love you, how I adore you, my breath, my sunshine, my holy Lord, the great Creator became my Savior, and all God's fullness dwelleth in Him. So this is pretty simple. You can follow along the PDF and get the basic chords for the song. So before we go any further, you need to understand your scales. The song is in the key of C, so you need to know the C scale, which is pretty simple. It is C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And as we get more advanced, you'll need to know the scales for all the other chords which are in the song. That means knowing the scale for F, for G, for A minor, for D minor, for F minor. You'll need to know all those scales. So I'm just gonna play the tune, the first two lines of the song. The song goes like, and the song keeps going on like that. The tune is very, very easy to follow, and I've put it in the PDF below so you can learn the rest of the tune for the song if you follow the PDF. To save time, I'm just gonna go to the next part of this video tutorial where I'm going to show you how to combine the tune and the chords to get something like this. So before I show you how to combine the tune and the chords, I'll need to explain one thing. First of all, there's two ways you can play this song. This is the first way. So this is the first way which you can play the song, and if it probably wasn't the best way to play this particular song, but I was trying to prove a point that you can play this way or the second way. The difference between the two ways is it depends on if there is someone singing the song as well. If someone is singing the song, then you don't have to play the song as it is. You can play it the way that I've just shown you. But if someone is not singing the song, then you need to follow the melody of the song as it is. This is because the way that I played earlier on, if I didn't tell you what song I was playing, it would be hard to know what song I am playing. And also it would be hard to know what part of the song I am playing. So when no one is singing the song, you have to play the song in such a way that people understand what you're playing and what part of the song you are playing. So these are the two different ways. One, playing behind someone, you don't need to follow the tune. The second way is when you're playing alone, you have to make sure the song is very clear. An example would be, or going to the chorus, so I'm using the same chords that I used in the first example that I showed you, but this time I'm making sure the tune is very clear and people can understand what I'm playing and what part of the song I am playing. If you want full examples for both ways, you can check out the description below where I show you how I play behind someone who is singing, and the second example where I play alone and make sure the tune or the melody is very clear. So I'm going to show you how to play in such a way that the tune or the melody is very clear. As an introduction to this part, you'll need to understand something which is very important. The song has different chords, C, F, G, and so on. So let's say the song is on a C chord, like it starts with Down From His Glory, which is on a C. There is, when I play my C, there is a whole lot of notes that I'll play, but there's more important notes that I played, notes which are more important than the others. While I'm holding the keyboard like this, in my left hand I've got a C note. This is called the bass note, and this note is very important. This note will follow the chords of the song. So when the song is on a C, this note will be a C. When the song goes on an F, I'll play an F in my bass. When the song goes on a G, I'll play a G. When it goes on a D minor, I'll play a D note. When it goes on an F minor, I'll play an F. When it goes on an A minor, I'll play an A on my left hand on my bass. So the bass note follows the chords of the song. In the left hand, instead of just playing one finger for my bass note, I usually double up. If it's a C, I'll play a C and a C. And if I want to add more notes, I'll add one more note in between. So I've added a G. How did I get a G? If you know a C scale, which is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, remember I told you your scales are very important. If you don't know your scales, you won't understand the concepts which I'll be explaining. So if we gave numbers to all the notes on the scale, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, to get your bass notes, I usually play the 1, the 5, and the 8. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 5, 8. That's what I usually play on my left hand. When I go to an F chord, I'll take the F scale, which is F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, and I'll take the 1, 5, and the 8 of the scale of F. So 1, 5, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are the notes which I'll play for the F chord. When I go to G, I'll take the G scale and I'll take the 1, the 5, and the 8 in the scale of G. When I go to the D minor, I'll take the 1, the 5, and the 8 as well in the scale of D. When I go to A minor, I'll take the 1, the 5, and the 8 in the scale of A. So you need to know your scales and you need to give the numbers, then you can know what you're playing in your left hand. Coming back to C, I've got my 1, 5 and my 8, but I could also change it to 1, 5, 7, which would be, or 1, 5, 9, which would be, or 1, 5, 10, which would be. It just depends on how far you can stretch and which one you like between all those. 1, 5, 7, 1, 5, 8, 1, 5, 9, 1, 5, 10. I'm going to explain later on why you can use any one of these ones. Coming to the right hand, so remember the bass note is the most important note on your left hand. On the right hand, when I play a C chord, the most important note is the note on the top. Remember, a keyboard, when you play it going to the right, this way, you're going up the keyboard. So the note at the top in this case is an E. The note at the top in this case is this C. The note at the top in this case is this G. So the note at the top is the very last note to your right. So the note at the top is the most important note in your chord. This note is dominant and will give the tune to that chord. So left hand, the most important note is the note on the bottom. Right hand, the most important note is the note on the top. So once you understand this, it's very easy now to combine your chords and your tune to make sure that your melody is very clear. All you have to do is play your chords, but make sure that the note on the top follows the tune. So the tune goes like down from his glory. So all I need to do is play my chords as usual, but I'll make sure that I follow this tune and make sure these notes are the notes which are on top of all my chords. So I can go like down, then the next one is from, so I'll make sure this is on top. From, that's an F, then his, I'll play a C, then glow, I'll play a G, then glory, back to C. So in my left hand I'm still doing the 1-5-8, in the right hand I'm just following, I'm playing chords which make sure my top note is following the tune. Notice how sometimes I play an F, but in my left hand I'm still on a C. It doesn't matter if you mix chords in your right hand and in your left, as long as you make sure that the tune is very clear. And in your right hand, you just follow the basic chords for the song. So the next tip which I'm going to show you is, instead of playing your chords as down from his glory, which is okay but sounds a bit plain, and in your right hand, instead of playing the 1-5-8 like this, it's better to roll your chords. So it will go like, what I did there is down from his glory. Again, faster. Slower. So in my right hand, I'm always playing my chords one note at a time. Instead of I'm going The reason why I do this is because it's a slow worship song and I'm playing piano and I have to make sure I fill in all the gaps between my notes. So if I play it this way, there's no sharp gaps in between my notes. In my left hand, if you're able, you can actually even play Remember how I told you can have your 1-5-8, 1-5-9, 1-5-10. You can even play all three, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. So I'll go like down, that's in your left hand. Then in my right hand, I'm gonna make my chord bigger. Remember I told you need to know your chord inversions. So instead of having just this basic C, I can make the C bigger. I'll just take this G and double it here. So now I've got a C which looks like this. So already using just the basic chords that you know, you've already got a pretty big stretch across the keyboard. So I can go like, so I've got my C, then I've got my F, but I double this F note here. Then I've got my next C, which is this one, but I've doubled this E here. Then then I take this D, I play it here, then C again. So I'm pretty much playing 4-note chords in my right hand. When you're still starting out, it will be pretty hard to play it this way, but with time, you get used to it, and it sounds so much nicer and richer and much more full. So, let me explain to you one thing before we go any further. In the left hand, I had my 1-5-8. The reason why I got 1-5-8 instead of just playing like this is because once you go down the keyboard, the notes become more bassy, and you have to make sure they're spread as far apart as possible to keep the sound clean. So this isn't very clean, but this sounds much cleaner. So going to the next part of the song, Ever Living Story, the tune goes like, ever living story, ever living story. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the chords of the song as well and go like, starting with your left hand, it goes. So on story, you are now on F. So you C, ever living story, you're now on F. So on my right hand, I'm trying to keep this on the top. So I'm gonna play C chord, then G chord, then C chord, then back to C chord. Because the tune kind of goes a bit fast, ever living story, you don't need to play 4-note chords all the time. Sometimes I play a C, then I'll go like just 1 note, then I play another C, then just 1 note, then maybe 2 notes, then 4 notes. So you don't need to stick to 4 notes all the time. You have to vary the way you play all the time. It makes you play much better if you vary. So I go like slowly, ever living store, then the full chord. Then my God and Savior came. So doing it again. My God and Savior. What I did there is I'm on my F. My God and Savior is now on G. So I play my G, and I just played this note before I play my G. In a more advanced part of this video, I'm going to explain where I'm getting this note, which I played before the G, but I just played it for flavor. I could play this one. You can play pretty much any note. It's is just a way to add more flavor to the way you play your chords. So I can do this for the C, I can do this for G, sorry. I can do this for F, for C, the trick here is you have to change the way you play your chords. Instead of just playing them one at a time like that, all at the same time, you have to change the way you play. Some ways are to roll the chords, then other ways are to add more notes before you play your actual chord. Then on a C chord I can even go like, or I can play the C chord, or I can take out some notes out of it. So I can even play the song using these notes, going like, so I was playing the 1-5-8 on both my right hand and left hand. So because of time, I won't be able to go through the whole song and explain all the chords and the tune, but I've shown you how you can combine the tune and the chords of the song. Before I close off this part of the video, I'm just gonna explain again what I said about the two important notes. These are your bass note and your bottom note and your top note. What's in between isn't as important as the outer note. Because of this, I call it my burger theory. It's just a name I made up. If you imagine a burger, you get the bread and you get the meat. Those are the two important parts of a burger. If you don't have the bread, or if you don't have the beef in between, the piece of meat, then it's not a burger. The same way with the way we're playing, if you got the bass note and the tune, then you got our song, or the chords for the song. With the burger, you get your bread and your meat. That's your main thing making up the burger. And what's in between, that's like your lettuce, your tomatoes, your onions, even the sauce you put in between can vary. It will still remain a beef burger. So someone could put tomato sauce, someone could put barbecue sauce, someone could put chili sauce and make it hot. It's still gonna be a beef burger. So I could play it like this. So, like this, we'll call this barbecue sauce. I could play it like this. I move this one here and I move this one here. It's still the same C chord. I could play it like this. I've still got my bass, I've still got my top note. I could play it like this. I move here. In the same way that you can make your burger as hot as you wanna have it. Some people probably won't like chili sauce, but you might like it. In the same way, you can do the same to your chords. You can change them the way you want it. So here I'm changing all the notes in between, and I'm still calling it a C chord. So I can even go like that. Notice how I ended up on this chord, which doesn't look like a C, but I've still got my top note there and I've got my bass note there. And when I play, people won't be able to tell the difference. So it's a matter of taste, playing the way you want it. So I'm gonna close this video here. Thank you for watching.